Okay, I'm back with video and card number 3. And I tell you, for as long as it takes to upload a video, I might just do a Facebook Live for the very last card. We'll see. We'll see how I get over my nerves. Anyway, this is card number 3. And this is using Thoughtful Journey in the catalog. Love this paper. I love watercolors. And the colors on here. Spring is my favorite time of the year, and this just reminds me of spring. So super pretty. So I'm using the stamp set, the dies, and this paper. And this is the card. It says, "Dearest friend, thinking of you fondly." And I brought in just a little bit of die cutting on this one. So here's the stamp set up close. This is actually what's called a cling stamp set. So it's red rubber and it's sticky on the back, so it just sticks to our blocks. Red rubber, I tend to like red rubber stamps better because I feel like the image is crisper. I get photopolymer, you can see through it, but I don't know. I never used to like red rubber stamps, and now I think they're kind of my favorite. And these are the dies. I used this leaf one for the background, and then I stamped and die cut the flowers out. And I did part of the work ahead of time, so you didn't have to sit here and see me, you know, color too much. So let's get the card kit out and see what we've got. So that DSP, or the Designer Series paper, comes in a 6x6. So when you cut it, sometimes you get these strips left over, and I save onto these strips because they work nicely to put a little accent or a little color on the inside of your card. So let's start with our stamping. This is a piece I used from Stylish Shapes, this label. And this is a piece I will give you because it's not part of the bundle, right? So I can give you that piece in this card kit. So I'm going to pull out Pretty in Pink. And I am going to stamp Dearest Friend onto that. And it's a good size, so you shouldn't have any problem stamping it in there once it's die cut. And since we have the ink out, let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment for the inside of the card. That says, I'm using a different stamp set this time or a different stamp in the stamp set. This one I did Thinking of You Fondly. This time I'm going to pull in You Make Life Better. And I'll have 2 different cards. So we'll just stamp that right here in the center. Well, top center. Oh, got a little boo-boo, but that's okay. I can cover it with something. I pushed too hard into the juicy ink pad. But that is not a problem. It's a handmade card. Okay, let's now pull in this piece. And actually, I'm going to keep this card up here so you can kind of see how I'm assembling this. These 2 pieces, you can see kind of where they were together, and I cut them apart. They're going to go on the sides of the card like this. And then this Pretty in Pink ribbon is going to wrap around like that. So let's go ahead and start with gluing both of these pieces down. And I don't want to lose sight of which one goes on which side, because it's almost like a continuation. It is a continuation that I pulled apart. So it's going to go like this. And watch. And you know, sometimes it's hard to pick what side of the paper you want to use. You can tell, oh, I can't even tell you how I cut this one now. It worked on the front. Oh wait, it does. It goes this way. See, so I mean, depending on the paper I give you, you may want to flip it over and use a different side. You have options. So let's glue this. Sometimes it's really hard to choose what side of the paper you use when it comes to the Designer Series paper because they're both so pretty. Now let's make sure I didn't. Yeah, I got that. Okay. I work better by turning my card base sideways and then flipping it this way and going this direction with it. Whatever works for you. And again, I use liquid glue. As you know, I don't get anything on straight. So I don't use glue for ribbon because it tends to seep through. It makes a sticky mess. So what I'm going to use are mini glue dots. And I'm just going to put a glue dot on the tip or the end piece of the ribbon, the ends here. Okay, let me flip that back over and put those away. And to adhere this, I'm going to stick this one down, and then the best I can get it straight, and then wrap that down. And there we have it. I don't need a glue piece. I don't need a glue dot in the center because the sentiment will do a good job, and so will this flower piece. Next step, I want to color in the flower image. So I went ahead and stamped this in Memento because, again, I'm bringing in Stampin' Blends. So I stamped in Memento and then I die cut it out. Now normally I would stamp it, color it, and then die cut it out, but I wanted to have the piece die cut already for you so you didn't have to watch me die cut again. The two colors I'm using are light and dark Petunia Pop and light and dark Mossy Meadow. And what's nice about, let me pull this in real quick. What's nice about our coordinating products is if you look on the back, so this is the 6x6 Designer Series paper, it tells you the coordinating colors. So it's really easy to have your projects all coordinate really nicely together. Stampin' Up! Takes the guesswork out of it. Okay, I think I want to use, I'm going to use a combination of light and dark. And I'm going to use the fine tip this time because some of these leaves are pretty tiny. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to color in the smaller leaves in the dark Mossy Meadow, and then I'll do the larger leaves in the light. And you could, you could do both in one leaf. You could do, dark and light, but I'm going to keep this one pretty simple. Like, actually, I probably just mixed that up from what I said. Yep, I did. I used the light first, and now I'm using the dark. Hey, it works both ways, doesn't it? Okay. I was originally trying to go for the lighter, the smaller leaves, darker, like they're just beginning to bloom, and then the larger leaves lighter, as if they're about to fall off, but that's all right. I could have colored part of this in as well, so you didn't have to watch me color the whole thing, but you get the idea, right? And this stamp, you can see it doesn't, the lines are not continuous, and that's okay. And you do not have to be perfect, right? So just give it some color, like on this one, right? You can't really tell where to color that. You just put it wherever you want. It looks good the way it is. And there's my cat crying in the background. He's probably hungry. So he's just going to have to wait, right? Okay, that gives it some nice color. Now I'm going to bring that silicone mat back in because what I want to do is put, I'm not really sure, like where to put the glue, right? So I want to just put it down the center of this piece. Maybe just like this. And I want to lay it right here. And of course, I don't want a gluey mess. So by doing it on that, see how the glue is on this silicone mat? It doesn't stick. And then I can just rub that glue off later. So I'm going to just set that, keep that there and let it dry. And in the meantime, I'm going to start putting my card base and the inside of my card together. So let's put the inside of the card inside. And I'm just going to leave the glue like that for now. I have a habit of putting the lid back on and off, and I hope you can still see this. Sometimes I feel like I shift too far over, but hopefully you can see that. And like I mentioned, this small piece, I mean, why throw it away, right? It's a nice little accent piece for the bottom. So let's add that. Just gives the inside some color. And if I can use it, why not? Oops. Okay, there we go. Now let's add the card base. And it's okay back here to put, dots of glue on your ribbon. No, it's the back side of the card. And we'll lay this down. Okay, now we're done with that glue. Now we're going to pull in, let's move the silicone mat out of the way. Let's pull in some of my favorite dimensionals. You knew it, right? Dimensionals. Let's start with the flower. Actually, let's start with the sentiment. And I think these mini dimensionals, these dimensionals fit. They do. We also have mini dimensionals that are smaller, and those would fit on here as well. But these regular ones fit, so we'll go ahead and use them. The backing's off. I'm going to put that up about here. And then let's add some dimensionals to the back of the flower. And we have lots of room here because adhering that top piece gave me some more room back here to add some dimensionals, and you'll never see them. If not, you'd want to use the minis, but you can't see them, so it's great. And you don't have to worry about the leaves. They're not going to collapse or anything. Just need them down the center, really. And I liked it at an angle, so I'm going to put that at an angle. Get those out of the way. And now to finish this off, I'm going to bring in Adhesive Backed Pearl Trio. Why not, right? Why not have some sparkle? And let's pull in, I'm going to use the spatula tip. And I used in this one, I used one of each. I'll probably just do the same thing and just pull them in. Let's put this color here, maybe this color down here, and this one up there. All right, and there you have it. Card number 4, quick and simple. You know, a nice card to send to a friend to let them know you're thinking of them. And a good reason just to send a card, right? Make the cards, but send them as well. Okay, I will have card number 4 shortly. Thank you.